Hello, I'm Dr. Robinson, your Superintendent of Schools. I'm here to talk with you about two very important programs to help keep our schools safe. The Safe2Say Something anonymous reporting system and school threat assessment teams. I would like to start by talking with you about 3 easy steps students can take to help prevent shootings, violence, suicide, and other harmful acts in your school and community. The Safe2Say Something anonymous reporting system consists of 3 easy steps. Step 1, look for warning signs and threats. Step 2, when you observe a sign or threat, act immediately and take it seriously. And step 3, say something to a trusted adult, call 911, or use the Safe2Say anonymous reporting system. Using these 3 steps, you will make a real difference in keeping your school safe and getting help for people who need it. Before we jump into the details of each step, I want to emphasize that schools are safe. In fact, they are one of the safest places to be in your community. However, while schools are safe, our schools aren't immune to bullying, shootings, violence, suicide threats, and other harmful acts. The good news is that bullying, shootings, violence, suicides, and other harmful acts are preventable. That's because there are often warning signs and threats shown by individuals in need of help before a tragedy would take place. In fact, research shows that 87% of active school shooters planned their attacks in advance and often gave verbal, physical, and virtual signs that they were planning and plotting to harm others. Also, 70% of people who die by suicide tell someone of their plans or give some other warning signs. 37% of threats of violence were sent electronically before a violent act occurred. So, if we teach you how to look for these warning signs and threats, empower you to act immediately and take it seriously, and then say something, you will be able to help reduce violence and create safer and healthier schools. What is a warning sign? Warning signs are thoughts, feelings, actions, and behaviors that show you that a friend or classmate may intend to hurt themselves or others. It is important that you don't dismiss warning signs as someone just joking around, being dramatic, or seeking attention. Warning signs may include when a student withdraws from others, begins bullying or hitting, or develops negative role models, such as idolizing school shooter or mass murderers. Warning signs can also be when a friend or classmate begins to show excessive anger, extreme mood changes, or expresses feelings of rejection. Warning signs include if someone you know is expressing that they are having thoughts or planning to harm themselves or others, or blaming others for their own failures or everything they perceive as wrong with their lives, or even if they develop a fear of riding the bus or going to school. Warning signs may include an unwillingness to forgive or forget the wrongs of others, or when someone displays a big personality change, or expressing feelings of isolation, or has a dramatic change in physical appearance that is noticeable and unusual for the individual. If you know someone who suddenly begins giving away their possessions, becomes fascinated with suicide, develops rigid beliefs, or brags about access to guns, these too could be warning signs. A fascination with weapons, school shootings, or death may also be warning signs that something is wrong and the individual may need help. If someone you know tries to recruit you or a friend to join an attack, please take this seriously and report it. Never assume the individual is joking. Someone warning a friend to stay away from school or an event or bragging about an upcoming attack are warning signs that should be reported. In addition to being alerted to warning signs, you also need to look out for threats. So what is a threat? A threat is when a person communicates that they intend to harm themselves or someone else. They might say it, write it, or post it. Threats could also be someone posting or saying things like, someone should blow this place up, or life isn't worth living. Or they will regret they ever met me. These types of statements clearly indicate that someone may be considering hurting themselves or someone else. Warning signs and threats may be anywhere. You could find them on the bus, in the cafeteria, in hallways, in the classroom, at parties, and sporting events. I'm sure many of you have seen warning signs of threats on Instagram, Snapchat, and other social media platforms. It's where many students go to make a threat or express their feelings, including anger, anxiety, or depression. And trust me, the adults aren't on the same platforms that you are, so they aren't seeing everything you see. You are the eyes and ears of your school. That's why students need to learn how to recognize when someone needs help. This is an example of a social media post from a student threatening to harm someone else. The social media post shows a student threatening self-harm. Here is a social media post threatening a school. Now that you know step 1, how to recognize warning signs and threats, let's learn about step 2, act immediately and take it seriously. It's important to act immediately and take it seriously when you see a warning sign or threat because all too often no one acts at all. When you notice something that doesn't seem right, get help. You can speak with your teacher, a counselor, or the principal. Students sometimes won't report a warning sign or threat because they fear they may be labeled a traitor or a snitch. They also may be afraid of being alienated, getting physically hurt, or getting into trouble. There's a huge difference between saying something and telling on someone or snitching. When you snitch, you're looking for a reason to get someone in trouble, either to create problems for them or to get something for yourself. When you say something, you're trying to get someone help for their own safety. Saying something is about helping someone else. And it's okay if you don't understand why a person is doing or saying something that concerns you. You can leave this to the experts to understand and determine what help that person may need. The experts in your school are the members of your school threat assessment team. Every school in Pocono Mountain School District has a threat assessment team. After we see warning signs or threats, act immediately and take it seriously. The final step is to say something to a trusted adult. Call 911 or use the Safe2Say something anonymous reporting system. If you don't know who is on your school's threat assessment team, start with your school counselor. Another way to say something is to tell a trusted adult. They have the experience and knowledge to get help. Here are several examples of trusted adults. Your trusted adults can be lots of different people. They could be your school teacher, your school administrator, your counselor, or your coach. They could also be someone outside of school, your parent or guardian, a friend's parent, family member, or a religious leader. And it's important that you know who your trusted adults are right now. This way, if you do see warning signs, you will know immediately who to go to. Talking to adults or 911 about a warning sign or threat that you are seeing can sometimes feel difficult or awkward. But here is what you can do to prepare for this conversation. Gather any text, photos, videos, or other communications that you have available to you. Show your trusted adult or share it with 911. If the conversation was spoken, Then write down what you heard when you meet with a trusted adult. After you gather any evidence you may have, there are three important parts to having a conversation. First, you must be direct. You can start your conversation with a sentence like, I must talk to you about my friend Jane, or I need to report an emergency about my friend Joe. Second, you want to explain the warning signs you are seeing with a sentence like, I noticed threats made to hurt other students. Finally, you want to clarify what you want to see happen as a next step with a sentence like, I need your help now to get my friend help immediately. And if you have it, bring the individual's full name, their address, and any other social media information. So, why should you say something? You are the eyes and ears of your school. You see and hear things that others don't. You can help reduce violence, suicide, and threats. If you say something, you can save a life of a friend or a classmate. You just learned how to say something to a trusted adult or call 911. But what if a trusted adult is unavailable or you're not comfortable calling 911? Use the Safe2Say Something anonymous reporting system. You might be wondering, does that mean I have to give my personal information to a stranger? No, the Safe2Say Something anonymous reporting system is completely anonymous, so you don't have to give any information about yourself that you don't want to. The Safe2Say Something anonymous reporting system works by simply submitting your concern or issue using the app, the telephone hotline, or the website, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There are trained crisis counselors ready to receive and act on anything you submit to them. To use the app, download it to your phone or mobile device. Search for Safe2Say Something anonymous reporting system in either Google Play or the App Store. Next time you have your phone, remember to download the app. Once you've downloaded the app, open it on your mobile device. The first time you launch the app, you will need to create your own numeric passcode. Then you can sign in. Step 2 is to locate your school within the app. Next, select the concern from the menu that you would like to address. You will then be asked to type in the details about your concern. Finally, upload any photos, any videos, or sound files related to your concern, and then hit submit. You'll be able to have an anonymous two-way conversation with a crisis counselor to ensure they have all the information they need to get help for the individual that you are concerned about. You will also get a case number so you can log back in at a later time and add more information if you want. If you want to submit a tip on the website rather than through the app, first go to safe2saypa.org. Once there, select the Submit a Tip icon and then complete the form. If you prefer to submit a tip over the phone, call 1-844-SAF2SAY or 1-844-723-2729. You will speak with a crisis counselor who will ask you a series of questions. Before the call is over, the crisis counselor will provide you with a tip number and password. This information will allow you to log in online and provide new or additional information you may have about your tip. After you've logged in online, it will also allow you to exchange private messages to share any additional anonymous information. It's as easy as that. Thanks to your anonymous tip, the crisis counselor will work with the appropriate people in your school or community to act on your tip and intervene as needed. Today you learned the 3 steps to Safe2Say Something anonymous reporting system. Step 1, look for warning signs and threats. Step 2, when you observe a sign or threat, act immediately and take it seriously. And step 3, say something to a trusted adult, call 911, or use the Safe2Say Something anonymous reporting system. Using these 3 steps, you will make a real difference in keeping your school safe and getting the help for people who need it. You also learned about your school's threat assessment process and your role in supporting possible threats against your school or classmates. So let's please work together to keep our schools safe. Thank you.